Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical and the final episode of the Dream Rifle build series. This, I've said it many times, has been my favorite build series that we've done so far. I spared no expense and I built exactly the rifle that I wanted to build. And it was a really fun time doing it. And now I need to financially recover so that I can start another build series, and I've got some great ideas for them. But I do have two new parts on it. This isn't going to be a super long video, but it is very important. Sling and also cable management for the light. Both relatively important things. Sling, I think, is especially important. So make sure you're subscribed. By the way, we just passed 10,000 subscribers today, the day that I am filming this video. I can't thank you guys enough. Each and every one of you that has subscribed to the channel. It really means a lot to me. It's taken me 2 years to build up to this 10,000 subscriber point. The first 1,000 subscribers took a year. Took another year to get to 10,000. If it continues to go up like that, maybe we'll have 100,000 by this time next year. I sure hope so. If you haven't subscribed, please do. So the first thing that you probably noticed that's changed on the rifle is the sling. And we're going to get into that in a second. This is the Vickers Blue Force Gear sling. And I'm very happy with it. The sling is very important. Sling, light, and optic, I think, are the three most important things as far as accessories go that you can add to a functioning rifle. But before we go over the new stuff, since this is probably the last episode of this build series, you know, until I get a suppressor for it, which, as you know, takes a little while, or until I can afford night vision and need a laser aiming module or something like that. But I do want to just kind of quickly go over how we've gotten to where we are so far. So we started with the ADM UIC Ambi lower receiver. This lower is awesome. I just love the Ambi bolt catch and release on it. It also has an Ambi mag release, which works great. And it is just a beautiful looking lower as well. I can't say enough good things about it. And it's a great way to start the build, a good platform to build off of. Inside that lower, I've got a Geissele SDE trigger, or Super Dynamic Enhanced. And this trigger is amazing. 2-stage, very clean take up, super crisp break, positive reset. It's a fantastic trigger. Also use the Radian Talon ambidextrous safety in OD green. And I'm not going to say OD green 100 times. Obviously you can see the whole rifle is OD green except for the receivers basically, which are black. But I really like the Radian Talon safety. I put it in the 45-degree throw setting. I have it on like all of my ARs. It's a great safety. Then I also use the B5 Systems furniture as far as the Type 23P grip and the B5 Bravo stock. You might notice this rubber band. This is a Ranger band. It's just for stowing the sling. We'll get into that in a minute. Geissele buffer system with their OD green buffer tube, Super 42 system with the braided spring and an H2 buffer. I'm actually going to get some steel weights and change that buffer to H1. H2 seems to be just a little bit heavy for it, even though it is a 14.5-inch mid-length gas system, which is supposed to be with an H2, but I think it's going to run more reliably with an H1. Forward controls designed dimpled castle nut. And then we get into the upper receiver. This is the Volter MUR, or modular upper receiver. I replaced the ejection port cover with one from Forward Controls Design. And I just think it looks cool. Plus it's billet instead of plastic like the one that came with it. Inside there, I've got the BCM ion bonded tan bolt carrier group. Radian Raptor charging handle. We've got a Roscoe barrel, 14.5 inches with a mid-length gas system. Silencer Co. ASR muzzle device, pinned and welded. BCM gas block as well. Gas tube, I believe, was Expo Arms. In fact, I know it was. Geissele Mark 8 rail, which I think is just awesome. I don't feel like I need the ones with Picatinny up here because all of the accessories, that I use these days are M-LOK. Speaking of which, I use the Arasaka inline mount on the offset M-LOK here to mount my mod light, Surefire tail cap, mod button. Back here at the optics, got the OD Green EOTech on the Unity riser, EOTech G33 magnifier on a Unity flip to center mount. And then up here, I've got an Emissary development handbrake. I believe that's everything. And of course, Magpul Gen 3 windowed PMags because they kind of match the way that the low receiver looks. And I just think they're sweet. And so what have we added this week? Well, like I said, the big one is the Sling. This is the Vickers Blue Force Gear Sling. I like slings to be simple and to be effective. And this one is. It's not padded. It doesn't have any weird plastic handles or anything on it. It does have your, where you can tighten it and loosen it on the fly with this strap, which works great. I'll show you that in just a minute. And then I also added the FCD, Forward Controls Design cable management panel. I think it just looks great. I love their dimpled stuff. Kind of gives it a little more a bit of a Gucci factor there. And, it keeps your cable from snagging on anything. So it has these channels inside it. And they go in lots of different directions, and you can wrap it in multiple ways depending how your, light cable goes. And it works great for this. You can get ones that take up one M-LOK slot or two. And it's just a great way to manage your cable so that it doesn't get stuck on stuff, and it looks great. I mounted the Sling to the rifle on the buttstock and on my Geissele handguard here with BCM Sling Swivels, QD Sling Swivels. And it's funny, a lot of, buy ones, cry ones thing, it goes all the way to the small parts. BCM Sling Swivels, they're not expensive, like $15 a piece. But on a couple of my other guns in the past where I was really trying to save money, I bought cheap Amazon ones, and there is a big difference. These they work a lot better. They slide in and out the way they're supposed to when you push on the button instead of getting stuck like some of my other ones have. So even stuff like that, it pays to get quality stuff. I've just noticed that with everything, and that's the thing I love about this rifle. It's all quality gear. What I like about the Vickers Sling here is, and most slings do this these days, but this right here, so if you pull it forward, it tightens it up so that you have this rifle, tight to your body, which I think is very important. A sling for a rifle is like a pistol for your handgun. It's how you retain it so that you can use your hands, whatever else. You don't want to have to put your rifle down in any kind of a situation to where you no longer have control over it. So the sling is very important when it comes to that. And then all you got to do is yank it back and it loosens up for shooting, or so you can swim out of it if you need to, go to your offhand, whatever. It's just simple and it works well. And I can't recommend it enough. We will get out to the range hopefully again this weekend and do some shooting with the Sling. But I had to record this video because I had this stuff in, just hit the 10,000 subscriber point, and I wanted to give you guys an update on the rifle. Now, if you have been following this build series, and if you're like me and you're a little bit bummed that it's done, don't worry, I am going to do some videos just reviewing some of the different parts and things that are on here as I get more rounds through the rifle and I just have more time on some of this stuff. I'll do some reviews on the EOTech and magnifier. I'm sure I'll eventually do a video comparing this kind of setup to a cheaper version like I got on here with the Romeo 5 Juliet 3 micro magnifier. And, and if it really is worth paying the extra money for something like this. So far, I think it is. But again, we're going to shoot them side by side and do that video eventually. I'm sure we'll do videos reviewing, the lights, the different things on here that I've just kind of touched on in the build series, we will dive deeper into in videos that are, in their own videos, some of these parts. So stay tuned for that if it's something that you think you'll look forward to, because I'm going to be out shooting this rifle despite the ammo crisis that we're going through right now. I do have a pretty decent supply of 5.56 still, and I'm not going to build a rifle this nice and not shoot it. I want to thank you guys again, everyone that's subscribed to the channel, everyone that's followed along on this build series. This has been a lot of fun for me, and I'm trying to decide what to do for the next build series now. I've always wanted to build a Mark 18, 10.3 inch, 5.56 gun, and I don't have a quad rail gun, and so I think that would be a really fun build. But again, that's another one that's gonna, take quality parts and be expensive to do, so might have to financially recover again first. Like I said, I think probably before the Mark 18 build, I'm gonna do a SIG P365 build, because I love my P365. It's got the Wilson Combat Grip module, but it's the only pistol that I use all the time that doesn't have an optic or a light on it right now. And I think I want to, the cool thing about the P365 is the modular, that you could take out the fire control unit and use different frames, slides, whatever you want to kind of make it whatever you want. And so I think I'm going to build out a P365 XL with a light and an optic, just a bigger grip, bigger slide barrel, for like winter carry, something that I can carry appendix, when I'm wearing a little bit more clothes. I'm not so concerned about the size of the pistol. The P365 XL is still a very small, easy to carry pistol. So that will probably be the next build series, and then maybe a Mark 18. We'll see. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can catch every one of those episodes, every review of any of the parts on this rifle, and everything that we've got coming in the future, because I put out 3 full-length videos every week, Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, and shorts every day in between. And the channel is growing really fast, and it's because of every one of you. So make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all this, about the cable management, about the sling, or anything else on this rifle, or just anything else in general. Those comments help the algorithm and are very much appreciated. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Let's get to 100,000 now. That would be amazing. And yeah, from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.